Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brianne and this is Bree's Knits. As you'll have noticed, there's a bit of a location change. I feel like because entering fall, my background just didn't make sense anymore. So I thought I'd go ahead and try to film, I don't know what we call it at our house. My husband and I call it our second room, but I guess it's technically our office slash library. I used to be a literature student. I was gonna say big reader, but I still love to listen to books. I just don't have time to read, or if I do, I typically have them on a book stand. But I still love, I guess technically reading, but it's just audible. So I can get more stuff done, or while I'm cleaning, I'm usually listening to an audiobook. But these are all of my books. There are a few more in boxes. There's also a few more up and a few further down below. But I do have a ton more in boxes. I just started running out of space on my shelves. I think these two shelves were from Target a while back, like 5 years ago or something like that. So I'm sitting in front of my literature studies bookshelf, and this is like the children's and like fantasy and fairy tale books. This one was a lot of like just nonfiction books, and these ones are a lot more American lit. So my degree in my master's was in British literature, my British literature is mostly up here, and then I have some of it down here. But you saw most of them, like the literature-esque books in the intro. Anyway, that was a very long like introduction to basically saying I changed, because I am kind of feeling like I wanted to change for a while. I did it in my kitchen just because I kind of liked the clean background. But now that the seasons are changing, I just thought I'd change it up a little bit. So let me know if you like this, or if you prefer the clean wall with the slightly wonky painting. I know it's a little off-centered. I don't know how we can fix that, but there it is. I wanted to join in on the fun and do what I'm planning to make for fall. So yeah, well, at least after I'm done with my test knits, which should be soon, I'm really excited to go ahead and start working on some things that I want to make for myself. I mean, the test knits are for myself, but just like 'tis the season kind of thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up my Ravelry and I guess share some plans. So these are tentative plans. Obviously, it can change. Not everything's gonna stay the same forever. So autumn. Autumn usually means, for me at least, prepping with a lot of gift knits. However, I think I'm gonna categorize that into maybe a different video. But just know that in the fall I will also include gift knits. However, this year I have told myself that I will not do like humongous garment knitting. I will do accessories as gifts. I think I will probably do one garment this year, and that'll be for my mom because she asked for something. So I will probably give her a garment, and then everyone else will be some form of accessory, because last time I almost didn't make it. So I don't want to do that. Actually, I don't think I did. I ended up having to give my aunt her present like in the new year, and I just don't like that. I'd like to be done by my own deadline. And especially if it's for gift knits, I'd like to be done before Christmas, so that way I can just be done with it. So just know that included in all of this is also gift knits, but maybe I'll do another video for that. So the first pattern that I really want to do this autumn is the ethylene blah, 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 blah. I was going to say vest. No, blouse. I was going to say blouse, but it's the ethylene vest by Fable Knitwear. I have some Knitting for Olive yarn in my stash, and it's literally called Autumn. It's a beautiful orange shade, which is great. I want to make this vest. I did make one already. I made it in like an acrylic green color because I had the acrylic already, so I was just going to make it in the green because I liked the green. But then this was before I started gauge swatching, so it's pretty ill-fitting. Well, not ill-fitting, just a lot of negative ease. Usually Fable Knitwear's patterns are usually like negative or zero ease, but not too much negative ease, you know? So this pattern is a square necked vest, and it's cropped. I really like it's meant to emulate a bodice. I forgot what year or what like time frame it's supposed to be in. But usually all of her patterns usually are inspired by historical pieces of wardrobe. I think she even has a YouTube video about it. So I will go ahead and try to link that below so you can just watch more of her inspiration behind the design process for that vest. But I really like it. I have worn it a few times and I do feel like I'm wearing a bit of a bodice. So I just want to go ahead and make that, especially because the yarn kind of makes me excited. Like just the color itself is just so like nice. I just want to hurry up and make that. So that's that one. I also, let me see what else I was going to make this fall. Oh, okay, there we are. It's also by Fable Knitwear. I'm in love with her patterns. They're amazing. And I think now that I've learned the art of gauge swatching, I will definitely make sure everything is at gauge so I can meet her gauge. I think she's a bit of a loose knitter and I'm a bit of a tight knitter, so I need to gauge accordingly. But I want to make her nutcracker jumper. So I bought some yarn from Sorella Yarn. I think it was her spring collection. I got the French whatever. I got the boulangerie. I don't know if that's how you say it. But that colorway, it's like a really nice light pink. I honestly didn't think I'd like pink that much growing up or even as an adult until I started knitting, and all of a sudden I have all these things that are pink. But I really want to make that jumper in that color. It's a bit of a textured pattern, so it's seat stitch down the front panel and on the sides of the arms with some bobbles kind of like encasing them. So I want to make that this fall as well. Not very much a fall color, but it's a very, very light pink, so it's not too bright or in your face. So I think that would just be a really nice addition to my wardrobe. And the next thing, so I have to remake my awen blouse, and I really want to do that this fall. Maybe I'll do a video on it again. I did not gauge swatch for that one, and it fits like an extra small. I usually knit about a medium or a large in patterns, and it's in fingering weight yarn, and it's just it doesn't fit at all. I put it on and my husband was like, wow, that looks really tight on you. And I was like, oh, it's negative ease. I still need to block it. Like I thought blocking would just cover everything, but no. So I've learned early on this year to start gauge swatching before every project now, not just for my test knits. So now I have to. So I believe on that one I need to go up 2 needle sizes. So I would just have to redo it again. It's also a Sorella yarn that I made it in. It was from the Taylor Swift collection. It was literally just red, but I really like that color for fall, so I had intended to make it so I could be ready for fall, so I can just pull it out whenever I was ready to wear. But I have to unfortunately redo that, so that's definitely a plan for this fall, autumn, whatever you want to call it. And then the next knit for myself, again, Fable knitwear, but I have the yarn for it. I just bought it, so I want to just kind of go in while I still have the motivation. It's the Eugene Cardigan, and it's got it's a V-neck cardigan. It's got some cables in the front, and it just looks really nice and classic. It's a worsted weight pattern, so I hope it kind of goes through fairly quickly. Just because I'm not a fan of making cardigans. I love wearing cardigans, but just the process of making them just takes forever. But that might just be because you have to knit back and forth. But nevertheless, I really want this pattern in my collection, or like the garment. So I will work through it as best as I can, so that way I can get it done. And the next item on the list. So I definitely want to make myself a pair of socks. I started on a pair a while ago, but I recently just unraveled it because one, I didn't gauge swatch for that, and two, I think it had just been such a long time I didn't even remember what part of the pattern I was in, so I had to just kind of stop it right there. But I do want to make, they are the Spring Cottage Socks by Lindsay Fowler. It's not spring, but they're cute and I want them. So that's the plan for this fall. And then I had one more. Oh, I wanted to do the Soaky Scarf. Of course, everybody's doing the Soaky Scarf, and I want one myself as well. When Petite Knit kind of showed that she was working on it, I really wanted it. I know I'm not like a super huge fan of how garter looks, other than, I don't know, I guess very specific things I'm okay with garter. But as far as like, I guess because it reminded me, like garter scarves anyway, remind me of like my first scarf, and I'm not a huge fan of it. I haven't worn it, but the Soaky Scarf looks amazing. So for the Soaky Scarf, I'd like to make myself a couple of them for myself. I'd like to make a couple as gifts, and yeah, that's basically it, really. I think they're just a really cute staple accessory. I love seeing it as headbands on everybody, and I really just love like the little kerchief moment on like all over Instagram. I actually started getting into kerchiefs a lot just before the pandemic, and then the pandemic hit and I had no other reason to wear them. Also, I live in Southern California, so it's not as cold here unless I'm going to the mountains. So as far as like selfish knits goes, that is all that I have planned for myself. Like I said, I do have a lot of gift knits in mind. Let me know if you guys want a separate video on that, I guess, or if not, I can talk about it in a later video. But yeah, that's kind of what I have in mind. I'm trying to be very realistic with my expectations of myself. Otherwise, I know that I might get a little, I don't know, like, I'm sure there will be other, oh, that's what it is. Okay, scratch everything. We're gonna have to take out that whole clip. So in like terms of self knits, I do want to also knit. I have a couple of other what is it? I have a couple of other patterns in mind. Here we are. We finally arrived at the station, as they say. I just purchased these. I don't know if I'll get them done this year. Who knows, they might be a winter plan, but if I don't finish everything on this list from this video, then I'll go ahead and push it on to the next season. But I just purchased the Camisole number 8 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. I was about to say Petite Knit. And it's like her sweater number 15, I think. Yeah, sweater number 15, which I also just purchased. So I mostly want to focus on the sweater number 15. However, the yarn I bought is through Sorella Yarn, and it was with her collab with Two of Wands. I got the brick colorway because perfect. It's like honestly the perfect red, and I have been looking for forever. Might go ahead and pair it. Sorry, that was my dog. Might go ahead and pair it with Drops Kid Silk. But I have that in mind, so I hope I can get that done for autumn. And then I also have the camisole number 8, which is the all over cabled camisole. I think it looks really nice and pretty pretty classic. Sorry, my phone. I think it looks really nice and really classic, and I think could be worn anywhere, especially around an office or for work, but maybe with a cardigan over it, just depending on workplace dress code. But I think it looks really nice, even if you want to be like casual cute. I think that would look really great. So I definitely want to make those. And I think as far as patterns I'd like to make for autumn, that's about all I have. I'd like to be really realistic with myself. I probably won't end up knitting a couple of these patterns in the autumn, but that's kind of the goal of where I want to get to. Again, I have a bunch of other gift knits, but if not, that's, you know, like I said, if I don't get to them all, that's fine. This is just a goal and things I would like to knit. So we'll see if I actually get to them. We'll see in the podcast. But if you want to see a separate video on ideas I have for gift knits, or like the solid plans I have for gift knits, let me know in the comments, and let me know what you're planning on knitting this autumn as well. Okay guys, see you later. Bye.